Chinese imports at 30%, while China's duties on U.S. imports will remain at 10%, at least for now.
We were on a 90-day pause with China. The deadline was yesterday, and we are on another 90-day pause. So both sides can continue negotiating. This is also sparking a lot of relief from investors. Remember, at one point, we had a 145% tariff on goods coming from China, one of our major trading partners. Imagine what that would have done to inflation or trade. It probably would have stopped it altogether.
Previous deadline was set to expire at 12:01 today. And a proposed AI data center is coming to Wisconsin. The 1,900-acre data center campus in Port Washington would be one of the country's largest. Mayor of Port Washington, Ted Knightsky, on Wisconsin's Midday News.
We didn't want heavy manufacturing. We didn't want pollutants. We didn't want anything disrupting our natural resources. And then they came back and said, well, what about a data center? They're gigantic computer warehouses. They're becoming more efficient. They don't have a very large impact on the environment. They create jobs and become technology hubs. And we said, we're in.
The first phase of the project is expected to be completed by 2027. Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Lots of green here this morning with the Dow surging nearly 500 points at 44,450. NASDAQ up about 150 points today at 21,539. S&P 500 up about 50 at 6420. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next, including breaking Packers news. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 10:03.
It doesn't get any headlines just to be silently good. Big Fish Contracting, we say renovating homes, redeeming an industry.
It's so much more than just, okay, we're replacing your roof.
We're not only educating homeowners, but we're getting to know them and allowing them an opportunity to get to know us. And there's just such beauty in it, you know? If anyone is considering reaching out to us,
or you can check us out on our website, bigfishcontracting.com.
Earn now, spend later at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, rewards members can earn $10 in Blaine's Bucks for every $100 spent in store, redeemable just like cash after August 21st. Start earning on new AgriMaster Supreme Poultry Feed, $15.99. Rewards members save an extra buck. Select Best Air Furnace Filters, $8.99, $7.99 for rewards members. And rewards members can buy 3 tires, get 1 free, plus an extra $20 instant savings. Earn Blaine's Bucks now to spend later at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, John Mercure here for Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living. Their mission is to transform the culture of care. They specialize in caring for those with early to late stage Alzheimer's or other related dementia problems, cognitive decline. It's their specialty. They're great at it. And they also offer early memory loss classes. They can help your loved one with locations throughout our state, many here in southeast Wisconsin. I've been in their facilities. They're top notch. It's kindness at the core. It's compassion and empathy at Azura. Wisconsin-based and family-owned. It's Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Packers begin an open to the public practice today at 10:30. General Manager Brian Gutekunst says Jordan Love is having a procedure done on his left thumb to repair a ligament issue. You heard it during Saturday's preseason loss to the Jets. Gutekunst expects Love to return to practice next week and be fine for the start of the regular season. And the beat rolls on for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Nick Gonzalez, first pitch, swinging bunt, fielded by Miller, throws to first in time, and this ball game is over. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Shelby Miller, and the Brewers win it 7-1. They have won their 10th game in a row, and they are 30 games above 500.
Lane Grindle with the call last night as the team goes now for 11 straight this evening in Game 2 of a 3-game series against the Pirates. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Taking a look at your roads, a WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Big area here of concern is 4145 northbound, about a mile beyond the ramp from County Line Road, so just north of Menominee Falls. You've got the two right lanes blocked due to flooding in that area. Some issues approaching County Line Road as well on an exit ramp. Areas impacted by flooding. To get from Good Hope all the way now into 167, you're looking at about a 19-minute ride. That's a 9-minute delay if you're moving through that area. Be cautious as floodwaters continue to impact the roads, both at the local level, on city streets, and, of course, on the freeway. Otherwise, delays begin in your usual spots here, 4145 northbound. A slight delay here if you're headed north, with delays beginning about Watertown Plank and clearing up about Burleigh. It's about a 4-minute delay. Southbound delays begin closer to 175. Should be freed up once you get past Capitol Drive. Well, flood warnings remain in effect for Waukesha County until Wednesday, Ozaukee County until Thursday. Eventually, partly sunny and warm after the morning round of rain, a high of 82. Clear tonight and a low of 65. We enter a nice dry stretch here on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Mostly sunny skies with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Right now it's 69 degrees in Manitowoc, 70 degrees in Menominee Falls, 70 in light rain in Milwaukee. I'm Greg Matzik, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 10:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
And good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Weather improving. Brewers winning.
Look at you in a suit.
I got a suit on.
I didn't get the memo.
I have a presentation I'm doing to the Milwaukee Jewish Community Center this afternoon. Looking forward to that. So all those folks, if they're listening, and looking forward to sort of telling you about my story and how what we do on this show sort of connects to the things that happen in the city and the state and the country, which I think is real. And I know you did some press yesterday. We'll all hear about it at some point in the near future. So I love the fact that people are asking us for our thoughts away from the show.
Yeah, same.
And I also dig the fact that people care about what we say on the show. So it's all good. So I said yesterday when Kristin and I do a lot of conversation away from the show, and then we always
I
gather.
I talk to you almost as much as I talk to my husband.
Yeah,
now.
which is sort of a weird thing. But I really appreciate sort of how we craft the things we talk about through a back and forth, because there's things that are put out that are also we find out are not right. There's things that are actually being poo-poo, but actually are real. That sort of that back and forth is how you sort of shake it all out and get to the substance. And I will say this, and we've got a couple clips from the president who had a presser yesterday in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, on the sort of the takeover of Washington, D.C., District of Columbia, especially when it comes to law enforcement and just general enforcement on homeless crime and probably a whole lot of other things that we don't even know about yet. And it's sort of a fundamental question of people who do what we do. What is this? Is this a PR stunt? Is it a takeover? Is it just the president? Because I will give him this. Short term on the sort of public perception, anytime you clamp down on crime, people go, yeah, that's me. I want that to happen.
Well, some people.
A lot of people. I mean, who's pro-crime? I mean,
no one's pro-crime, but I think there's a lot of people who are skeptical of this being the way to...
That's true.
Deter crime, especially in a long-term situation.
Yeah, so let's hear from the president. We got a couple little short clips here. These are all Donald Trump, President of the United States. Clip number 1.
I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor, and worse. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. Under the authorities vested in me as the President of the United States, I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. You know what that is? And placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control.
So he's right on that account. He has the power.
Yeah.
It's the one unique power he does have when it comes to sort of the president, sort of handling things happening in cities, in this case, the District of Columbia. He does not have that power in cities across America. At least.
I mean, this is not unlike what he did in L.A., right?
Yeah,
Not that
like
long ago.
legally he doesn't have the power, but as we know, he likes to, flex. And all those conversations will be probably part of, things that happen beyond this story. As I was looking at all the crime data in D.C., first of all, you have to be careful with the numbers. And there's historical, there's 30 years back, there's 5 years back, there's a couple years back. Let's just say this. Crime numbers from 30 years ago were in every major city were out of control. Homicide rate, just general crime, burglary, theft, rape. You name it. It was dark.
70s and 80s, man.
Dark times.
Different times.
Drug abuse was exploding, heroin at the time, a lot of other things. So careful when you compare that number to what's happening now, because almost in every consideration, things will look better now. Now, you shouldn't discredit that.
But it's also even compared to last year and the year before, right? Like in the 5-year trend, it has also come down.
Right.
I mean, because during COVID, again, we saw a huge spike in most major cities of violent crime. We saw it in Milwaukee, we saw it in Chicago, and that trend across the nation has been coming down since 2020.
Correct. Now, again, depending on what you're talking about, carjackings are up in Washington, D.C., so that's one that, doesn't sort of fit that explanation. So the president has threatened this for a long time. He is certainly a guy who runs on law and order. He talked about crime in the run-up to the election, during the campaign. He certainly probably activated a population of people across this country that they responded to that. Mm-hmm. They said, yeah, that's our guy, where they didn't see that in Kamala Harris, who's then the vice president of the United States. So I get that. But my concern is, one, this is sort of a flex in a way we have never really seen, at least in recent times, where a president said, I'll do it. I'm going to take over. I'm going to, because we're going to get to this in this half hour as well, I'm going to unleash the National Guard on a community. And we saw a little bit of that in L.A., and there's been hints of that happening in other places. You could even tie in some of the ICE things that are happening across this country with that enforcement. Let's hear from the president on National Guard, because that's the next piece of this.
In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety in Washington, D.C., and they're going to be allowed to do their job properly. And you people are victims of it, too. You're reporters, and I understand a lot of you tend to be on the liberal side, but you don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. And you all know people and friends of yours that happened. And so you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment or your house where you live and feel safe and go into a store to buy a newspaper or buy something. And you don't have that now. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia, Mexico City, some of the places that you hear about as being the worst places on earth. Much higher. This is much higher.
Okay, so one thing. The president always paints the darkest picture. Whatever the subject is, it's always like the worst it could be.
Bedlam, squalor, and worse?
Yeah.
What is worse than bedlam and squalor?
Nuclear catastrophe,
okay.
I guess. All
Just
right.
make sure.
But so know that going in. Also, and then we can argue about facts and fact-checking. I would say at least half the things he says are not factually correct on any issue. He just makes stuff up.
I mean, D.C. does have, I don't know what it's compared to Mexico City and Bogota. It does have one of the higher homicide rates in the United States.
As someone I went to management school in D.C. I spent a lot of time there. I traveled there for other reasons, speaking engagements and stuff. I've been there probably 100+ times. There are certain parts of that city that are very, very crime-ridden and unsafe. Matter of fact, I don't know if probably it was too early for Uber, but maybe the beginning of that, taxi drivers would say, don't ever go there. Don't, even on the
Don't go to these neighborhoods.
Yeah, stay out of there. Don't go there. These are the safe places, all that stuff. So again, the president will win with his core base. I can see the text outline already. Congrats to President Trump. Thank God for President Trump doing what he needs. I get the safety argument. There's some legitimacy to that argument that you want to make every city as safe as possible. But I guess my bigger question, and I'd love to hear your response to this, is this the way you do it? Because there are serious concerns in our country that we have a president who's intent on being the sole decider. Forget about what Congress says. Forget about what the courts say, any level of courts. I will decide what happens. I think, personally, that's dangerous. whether it's law enforcement or anything else.
I also just don't know what is the long-term plan here? Like you deploy. So when we think about it, when we compare to LA, it was until the protests were down and they were protecting federal agents. So this is a, decades old problem in DC, in our cities. And so do you just indefinitely deploy the National Guard to quell ongoing violence? What is the cost of this? And is this a long-term solution? And could those funds not be used for more proven ways to deter violence long-term?
How about just hiring more law enforcement? That's their job, Look, I understand this is a touchy issue for some people because some people just love everything Donald Trump does, and I can see the text line, and I know that's what some of the population thinks. I'm a guy who supports law enforcement. I dedicate a whole month of my old show and part of our new show to that cause because I think it's important. But I worry that this sort of overreach by the president, and to answer your question about what's the long-term goal, I don't know what the long-term goal is, but the short-term goal is he wins the PR.
Yeah.
Because how can it not be safer? Because you got people that are on the streets making it safer, whether that's National Guard or whoever.
That's what I mean. So it's like if we look at data year over year, usually for these kind of statistics, and then we got to go take a break. I know. The fact that are they going to be there for the rest of the year? Or you can compare, is this working from, 4 months of data versus 6 months of data? Are they going to be there for multiple years that you can show like, hey, this is working? Like, what is the data points that they're going to be able to look to say this was worth it beyond just the spectacle and the show of it all? Because that's, as of right now, what it looks like it is to me.
Yeah, brilliant point. Because if the numbers come down, which they probably will, that's an example the president can then tout that say, all right, we're going to Chicago. We're going to St. Louis. He's already.
But then do we just become a police state?
That's the question. That's why I'm asking the audience this question this half hour. Is the president setting up a scenario where he can literally take control of any of the cities, nation's capital, especially if things don't go his way? Let's say midterms don't look great for the president. Let's say in 2028, whether he thinks he's going to run again or someone else, and it doesn't go well for Republicans, because the president essentially, because he's already got the infrastructure in place, National Guard and others, to say, no, we don't trust this election, because where have we heard that before? Is the president setting up that scenario? How worried are you about that? 855-616-1620. She's Kristin. I'm Steve. Point taken on this Tuesday on 620 WTMJ.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's one of the hottest topics when it comes to finance and your money, the One Big Beautiful Bill. If you haven't read it, we don't blame you. It's 900 pages with 400 just for tax provisions. Not exactly light reading. You know who has read it? Annex Wealth Management. That's where Instant Insight webinars come in. They're designed to provide clarity for today's hot topics. Get up to speed fast. Check out the full Instant Insight schedule at annexwealth.com/events. Unbiased advice from a fee-only fiduciary. Find out more at annexwealth.com.
Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 12th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes!
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Pittsburgh Pirates.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Construction Business Group. Tune in August 12th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
Point taken on this Tuesday. Kristin and Steve in studio here at the Annex Wealth Management Studios on Wisconsin Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. Texter says this: It sort of prompted me to think about this in a different way. You keep talking about this president as if it was normal. I get all that stuff. But he's the president of the United States. He has power. And in this case, he has the right to do what he did, constitutionally protected. He has those powers. So we can argue about his sanity, and certainly anybody thinks I'm a pro-Trump guy, they're not paying attention. I mean, come on, people. But I also understand, I live in the real world, he is the president of the United States. He's working on multiple fronts, whether it's the war in Ukraine, the border with Mexico, the crime in D.C., the economy, the tariff, what I would call nonsense, but his implementation of tariffs, which may be, in fact, completely illegal and unconstitutional, but hasn't stopped him. I have to live in the real world. He is, at this moment, the president of the United States. So that's why we're talking about this. We have a ton of text. A quick sampling, I think, is in order. Of course, Trump is making himself the law. All other authority must yield to him. Very bad. 2 reasons why Trump put D.C. in the news on Monday. He wants to create another distraction from the Epstein files. You and I talked about that. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. There's something there, and he doesn't want that to be the focus of every newscast. So why don't I go out, which he did yesterday, do a presser, and say what I said. We have one more clip from the president yesterday about the D.C. concept of policing and law enforcement.
If there's crime all over the streets, when you get there, it doesn't look so beautiful. But we're going to make it beautiful again. We're going to fix it with crime, and we're going to also, as we're doing that, we're going to start doing things that we know how to do, that I know how to do better than anybody, I guess, because of my experience from previous life. But not only are we stopping the crime, we're going to clean up the trash and the graffiti and the grime and the dirt and the broken marble panels and all of the things they've done to hurt this city. And we're going to restore the city back to the gleaming capital that everybody wants it to be.
I'll just say this, and I've been critical of the president on his decorating skills. He's turned the Oval Office into the Palace of Versailles.
Wait, did you also see that there's no tariffs on gold products?
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, if you can see where all the gold's going, it's in the Oval Office. I mean, that is ridiculous. And you saw the Rose Garden now, it looks like the patio at Mar-a-Lago. I mean, this is the standard we're getting from the president. I edited myself because I got to say something that was mean to people. But I don't want to sort of diffuse this. This is serious business. And you put a great list. I'm going to let you read it because the last 2 weeks, all the things that have happened with this administration.
In the last 2 weeks, President Trump has tried to use the Justice Department to go after the Obama administration officials.
When was he president last?
A while ago.
It's been a while.
He has obviously the ongoing situation in Texas with redistricting because he wants to change the rules and have 5 new GOP House seats in Texas. He's fired the top government statistician because he didn't like the unemployment figures, and obviously is trying to use massive tariffs to punish Brazil over its prosecution of President Bolsonaro, who allegedly also tried to overthrow the country in 2022.
I'll take allegedly out of there. He didn't try to overthrow the country.
And that's just 2 weeks. As far as, because I feel like I go back and forth of the show of it all, the need for the attention to be on him and for a new thing to be attracting the attention. But then you look at all this list, and so it's like the constant balance of how seriously do we take this and how much is it just like it's another part of the news cycle.
Yeah. Also trying to change Ukraine's borders without Ukraine being involved in the conversation. That's one more you could add to the list. The texts keep coming. We'll keep talking about it. It's 1025, 620 WTMJ. Quick break.
Get a clear picture of their eye health at Shopko Optical with back-to-school comprehensive eye exams. Vince Vetrano here for the experienced team at Shopko Optical, which can put your child at ease by encouraging them through the process and explaining their findings in a comfortable and relaxed environment. Feel confident that you're sending them back to class looking and feeling their best with personalized care and premium eyewear from Shopko Optical. Visit shopko.com to schedule an appointment today.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for QC Kinetics. Already changing my life. I've had 2 of 5 treatments. Elbow already feels a lot better. I did something about it. I wasn't looking for surgery as an option. Didn't want to do the drug thing. I called and scheduled an appointment, free consultation, Dr. Caravelli and her whole team, medical pros at QC Kinetics. Thousands of people just like me. You know what they'll tell you? They wish they would have done it sooner. They turn their lives around with their special treatments, natural cellular therapies. It works. My elbow already feels better. You can even bring your old x-rays and MRIs, show them what the problem is. They'll walk through a free, no-pressure chat, thorough evaluation to see if you're a good candidate for what they can do. Worst case, you learn something new about your injury. Best case, you get your life back. Here's what you got to do. Do not wait. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. They're fantastic to work with. They're so friendly, so nice, and they will answer all your questions. There's alternatives to treatment. Find out at QC Kinetics.
A buck in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of four. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with any other tire offers.
When it rains, it pours. But sometimes it hails. Or worse.
That tornado warning again is for Fond du Lac and Dodge County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect right now.
Keep us within reach for Fleet Farm Storm Team alerts.
Even if a tornado does not touch down, we know that there are powerful straight line winds.
On 620 WTMJ and WTMJ.com.
Point taken on 620 WTMJ. President essentially taking control over Washington, D.C. The mayor, Muriel Bowser, who actually met at the U.S. Conference of Mayors quite a few years ago, but called the takeover unsettling and unprecedented. It certainly is that. President, as I said at the beginning of the show, has the authority to do it. Unlike in states where governors have that authority, they we hope, can control who comes in and who comes out, especially when we talk about the National Guard. I guess for me, the fundamental question is here, where does this story go next? And I would be shocked and surprised if in the short term crime does not come down in Washington, D.C. And that will be a win for the president, and he will talk about it nonstop. Will he use that information, that data, to make the next argument?
Are they just going to be like stationed on every corner?
There's not a lot of information about how they're going to do things.
Like that's it's like just because they're there, what is the actual tactical plan of how they're going to approach street crime? Is it just the presence of them that's supposed to make it go down?
Like everything in this administration, everything is superficial, whether that's DOGE, whether that's tax policy, whether that's terror. It's all superficial. And I'm guessing law enforcement, same thing. And I'm concerned that they don't have the firepower and the knowledge to understand the nuances of police. Law enforcement is a tough job. You don't throw someone into it.
So then, because one of the quotes, whether it's hyperbolic or not, was like, oh, they can do whatever they want. Right? That's one of the things that Donald Trump said.
He basically said that.
And that's what I mean. That was his quote. And so what happens if and when a pedestrian who doesn't deserve to be shot in the street gets shot in the street?
That's a great question. Hopefully we don't find out, but that's the concern that a lot of people have. To be seen what happens in Washington, D.C., but a lot of us are paying attention, and we will continue to talk about this as we move forward. Great conversation coming up in the next half hour on the rights of the disabled, how they can move freely. We've got local news with Greg Matzek. Before we get to any of that, here's on the latest from ABC.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Details are beginning to emerge about the shooting at CDC headquarters in Atlanta last week. This is a Georgia Bureau of Investigation's Chris Hosey.
Over 500 shell casings have been recovered from the crime scene area. A total of 5 firearms, along with other evidence, has been recovered from the scene and will be submitted for further forensic testing. Close to 200 rounds impacted 6 of the CDC buildings.
The gunman broke into a locked safe, officials say, to get his father's weapons and wanted to send a message against the COVID-19 vaccine. He died by suicide, and law enforcement official was also killed. A South Korean court has ordered the arrest of jailed former president's wife, Yoon Suk Yeol. She is suspected of bribery, stock manipulation, and meddling in an election. National Guard troops began showing up in Washington, D.C. today, the first step, the federal law enforcement takeover of the city. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:31. City clerk in Glendale removed from her position over embezzlement allegations. At a special common council meeting, the board voting unanimously to remove Megan Hummetz. Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reports Hummetz is alleged to have spent over $10,000 on unapproved purchases over 8 months, beginning in October of 2024. Hummetz allegedly failed to report purchase receipts in violation of procedures laid out in the city code and employee handbook. A 48-year-old man in Appleton is dead after drowning in Lake Michigan. NBC 26 reports the Milwaukee Police Department's Harbor Patrol found a man floating face down in the water while on active boat patrol just before 10 o'clock Sunday morning. A report from the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office indicates the cause of death to be accidental. An investigation is ongoing. And one person is recovering following a shooting in Oshkosh. Police responding Saturday near Parkway in Franklin on Oshkosh South Side. 20-year-old man taken to the hospital for gunshot wounds. He is expected to survive. A 17-year-old boy was arrested. Charges are pending. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The stocks and indices are flying high here with the Dow surging up 450 points at 44,425. NASDAQ up about 175 points today at 21,560. S&P over the 50-point mark at 64,23. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads, a WTMJ Time Saver traffic update. Flooding on the roadway here, 4145 northbound, about a mile or so beyond the ramp from County Line Road. The right two lanes are blocked. This has been an ongoing situation all day. It's going to cost you about 11 minutes of delay time if you're working your way from Good Hope Road up to 167. Complicating matters, the exit to westbound County Line Road from 4145 is closed due to flooding as well. So both incidents and occurrences in that northbound area in a very similar stretch. Heading southbound on 4145, your delays begin through the construction zone a little bit north of Silver Spring. You should be cleared up by the time you get to North Avenue, resuming at normal freeway times. Just a slight back up here, 94 eastbound heading into downtown from 76 through the stadium. Flood warnings remain in effect for Waukesha County until Wednesday, Ozaukee County until Thursday. Eventually today, partly sunny and warm with a high of 82. Clear tonight and a low of 65. Wednesday through Saturday look good here. No rain in the forecast. Mostly sunny on each of those days with temperatures in the low to mid 80s. Right now it's 74 in Franksville, 73 in Franklin, and 73 in Fish Creek, 70 at the Avenue. I'm Greg Matzik, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time. It's 10:34.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service. In just 2 days, my roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, Wisconsin, ready to jump into adventure? Grab your passport. Fox World Travel is throwing a free vacation showcase just for you. Discover why we're the state's top-rated agency, turning travel wishes into pinch-me realities. Chat with the experts, including Globus and more, and dive into everything: Epic Alaska, European escapades, serene cruises, and way more. Plus, snag deals you won't find anywhere else. It's all happening Saturday, September 20th at the EAA Museum in Oshkosh. Don't wait. Space is limited. Go to foxworldtravel.com to register now.
Welcome back to Point Taken. I am Kristin Brey. He is Steve Scaffidi. And recently, you may have seen this story already because he did get a lot of press for this remarkable journey that he went on. But 127-mile road trip from Neenah, Wisconsin to downtown Madison, but not by car, by wheelchair. Disability rights advocate and quadriplegic Carl Schulze, he's been using a motorized wheelchair for nearly 20 years. He made this journey to draw attention to the scarcity of home health care workers, which has now been made worse by low pay and recent cuts to Medicaid. So he is on the phone now with us to tell us about this journey. Welcome to the show, Carl.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, I mean, I want to get into the nitty gritty of the trip itself, but as far as what was the motivation or inspiration that this was your form of activism?
It's just a crisis that I live with. It's been, 18 years that I've been paralyzed, and it's been like well over 5 years, closer to 10, since any of my aides have gotten a significant raise, while the rest of the world since COVID has gotten quite a huge bump in pay. And if this continues for the next 5 or 10 years, the only choice for me is to end up in an institution. So it's really a selfish desire to stay out of a facility.
As you talk to those folks, Carl, what are they telling you? Like, are the companies they work for are just not paying attention to their needs? They're not responding to some of the things they need to do their job better. And frankly, as a lot of people know, that if you have an incentive to work at a place, it's more likely more people want to work there, which would provide more assistance for folks in the disabled community.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, but the problem is it's not the home health aid companies. It's the state's reimbursement rate because, see, I'm on Medicaid. So a home health aid company can only pay their aides so much if the state is only, I believe the home health aid company that takes care of me is getting $24 an hour from the state to then deal with overhead and all of that. And after that, then finally pay an aide about $15 or $16 an hour. So nobody wants, as you pointed out, nobody wants to come do this job when you can go work at Home Depot, Walmart, or a fast food place making $20 an hour.
And for folks out there who are hearing your story, first of all, thanks for coming on. You need this help, this assistance to live a normal life, as close to normal as you can get, right?
Absolutely. I can't get in and out of my wheelchair by myself, so I need help to live. And if I can't live in my home with home health aid help, then the only other option is I'm in an institution somewhere.
Which would be more expensive, which, again, it's that, the fundamental issue that people don't understand.
Yeah, it's going to cost the taxpayer more to have me hidden away in an institution than to give my aides a raise. But we're in a current culture climate of cut everything, and all of my taxes are
Oh, did we lose Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
There he is.
Sorry, you were quiet for a second.
Oh, sorry. I someone must have bumped a button on your end. But anyways, we live in this odd culture climate right now with the Doge and all of that, where it's popular to want to just cut all government services and stop taking any taxes out of my paycheck. Is this air amongst our community? But
so as far as, I just want to learn a little bit more about the journey itself. So how did you map out your path? Because obviously, if you're going from Neenah to Madison in a car, there are highways. And so were you strictly just finding sidewalks to travel that long of a distance?
Now we lost Carl again. There he is. Hey, we're having some connection. Let's do this, Carl. We're having some connection issues. Let's take a break. Let's get those straightened out because we want to hear what you have to say. Carl Schulze joining us, quadriplegic, who did an incredible thing. He took a journey. How many miles?
127
miles to call attention to the scarcity of home health care workers.
I don't get why they're dropping my...
All right, we'll fix it. Lots more to come. Point taken after this.
All types of injury lawyers advertise. Cartoon lawyers, bobblehead lawyers, and folks chasing ambulances with text messages. Our clients don't want or need such lawyers. Our clients know, like, and trust that Pasternak and Zergabel will help in their time of need. I'm Frank Pasternak of Pasternak and Zergabel. Jeff Zergabel and I are excellent personal injury lawyers in our community. If you need help after an injury, go to Pasternak and Zergabel at injurywisconsin.com. That's injurywisconsin.com.
Not so fun fact, a recent study showed that only 40% of managers have annual check-ins with their direct reports. Not good, especially when today's younger workers crave development and growth. But the LAK Group has a new tool called Coaching on Demand. This cutting-edge platform connects leaders and professionals with certified coaches and seamlessly integrates AI into their development journey, all on their schedule. Learn more at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Now that you're ready to purchase a new bike, do yourself a solid by stopping by one of our Wheel and Sprocket stores to test ride an electric bike, better known today as an e-bike. And let me tell you, these bikes are a game changer because you can ride a whole lot further without even breaking a sweat. We're talking 20 to 50 miles on a single charge. So even riding uphill comes with tons of thrills. But before you decide, stop by any of our Wheel and Sprocket locations first and let us explain in detail what e-bikes are all about. And once you're here, you'll find rows and rows of bikes in a bunch of different styles and colors for you to see, touch, feel, and even test ride. After all, here at Wheel and Sprocket, we love bikes, which is why bikes are all we do.
Visit wheelandsprocket.com for a location near you.
I'm Amelia Kegel with Wheel and Sprocket. Life is short. Enjoy your ride.
Hey, this is Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I had some snoring issues that kept my wife up at night. That led to poor sleep and a lot of tired mornings on the radio, and nobody wants that, trust me. But it's simply, my nose wasn't working the way it should. I decided to go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit, one of their great facilities, talk to a bunch of their doctors. They really put me at ease. After a really simple sleep study at home, in my own bed, they determined the root cause of my problem had to do with my sinuses and nasal passages in my breathing triangle. I didn't even know I had a breathing triangle, so I went to see Advent. After a short procedure done in office, I'm back to breathing well, and my wife and I are both back to sleeping through the whole night. The best sleep we've ever had, that could be you. If you struggle with restless nights like I did, take the time to see how Advent can help. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your life and your nights a whole lot better, go to AdventKnows.com, schedule an appointment today. Because Advent knows, when you breathe well, you live better.
We are talking to Carl Schulze, who's a disability rights activist and a quadriplegic who recently completed a 127-mile road trip from Neenah, Wisconsin to downtown Madison. And Carl, so I was asking you before we went to the break, as far as how did you map out your journey?
So, I relied heavily on Google Earth for that one. And, really the main goal was to try to avoid busy roads as much as possible. You asked about sidewalks earlier, and generally I try to avoid riding on sidewalks because the aprons where you got to cross the roads are usually really steep, and then every time you got to go back up an apron, that takes more out of the battery. And when you're really trying to get as far as you can on one charge, you try to think of every little minor efficiency that you can.
Yeah, I know you got a lot of media attention, which is deserved, and I appreciate you doing this and illustrating the problem that we're facing here with some of these cuts for people that need these essential skills and help to live a normal life. What's the reaction been from legislature, lawmakers, folks who actually make the decisions on some of this stuff?
Honestly, I've gotten some positive responses from both sides, really. That, it's clearly something that needs to get figured out, and it gets written in the back of bills too often, and then them things don't pass or something. But, I'm getting support from both sides. I'm not really getting any negativity anywhere on this one.
Well, that's good to hear.
That's a breath of fresh air, because just about every topic, you got about 30% of the folks in the comments and whatnot that are, just not supportive of the situation. But, it's ethical and it's financially sensible. So it's just one of these weird topics that's hard to really find an angle to not like.
It seems like a lot of this is reimbursement. I think you made that point earlier, Carl. So as far as things that have to happen going forward, what needs to change at the state level, even maybe the federal level? What do you see as like the most important thing that has to happen next year?
From what I understand, there needs to be a new bill passed at the state level that will specifically address the reimbursement rates. On a federal level, I mean, the $1 trillion Medicaid cuts on July 4th aren't helping anybody, because for the last 10 years, we've been told they don't have enough money for my aides to get a raise. And now that they gutted the piggy bank, well, now they're going to say, that on a federal level, they're going to say they don't have the money to reimburse states at a rate that they used to, perhaps.
Carl,
I'm not sure. I'm just the guy that has an issue that I'm trying to fix. But
so I know that you're obviously. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say. So obviously, there's a state. You travel to Madison to talk to state lawmakers. Who is your Congressman Tom Tiffany?
I think Lori Palmieri.
Oh, that's the state side, but for the U.S. congressman.
Oh, I'm not sure offhand.
Oh, because it'd be interesting to see if you reached out to them, because like you said, with the BBB. What their reaction was as far as the impacts for someone like you when it comes to Medicaid, who obviously needs it and is not in this category of people that they were talking about as far as people just sitting at home in their basements playing video games and could be working.
Right.
To me, Carl, it's a clear example of a superficial look at a number, how much we're spending on Medicaid and health care, and not understanding that there are many critical, essential pieces of that. And you better think long and hard, look at real data, look at personal stories like Carl's, where things matter. The decisions you make in Washington and Madison matter to your everyday life. And somebody like Carl, who's brave enough, first of all, to put himself out there and drive 127 miles in his wheelchair on, let's be honest, I don't know if I would do that in any place. I don't care how safe you think it is. That's not easy to do. So I appreciate your efforts in sort of helping everybody understand this is real life. This is not some imaginary waste question from the federal or state level. This is actually someone who's noticed, because you're in this situation, how bad things are getting, and this is what needs to happen next to sort of resolve that. So appreciate your efforts on this, Carl.
Well, I appreciate your guys' interest as well, because, I mean, quite frankly, if I did this and got all the way to Madison and nobody really interested, it would have felt rather redundant. I'd have been like, well, how am I supposed to affect change if literally nobody looked and said, oh, wow, we should listen to what's going on and think about it for a minute?
Well, job well done. I'm it's very impressive what you did, and I'm happy that you've gotten the attention that you deserve for it.
Well, I'm just getting started. I mean, this was to get everybody's attention, but now, as you pointed out, I mean, I'm working with my local state lawmakers. I actually have I'm going to meet with the Winnebago County Democrat Party tomorrow. And I got some plans going forward. I'm going to sit in on some meetings and stuff and speak at applicable ones. And I'm just going to do everything I can personally to keep the attention on this and hopefully just get it to change in the fall session.
Yeah, Carl, keep us posted on this. You're certainly welcome back on the show if you have some news, some updates that are trending in the right direction on this issue. I appreciate what you did, and I appreciate what you're going to do in the future. You are a great spokesperson for those who need those types of services across the spectrum in this state and this country, and I appreciate you coming on the show.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
All right.
Carl Schulze, great story, 127 miles.
Very impressive.
I don't think I would have done that. So, I mean, I got to get, and this is someone who has challenges. Yeah, and needs help. Again, when you think about this stuff from a high level, just cutting jobs, cutting budget dollars seems like, oh, that's the answer. But behind every one of those stories, not everyone, but most of those stories is somebody like Carl who actually needs the services to live a normal life. You want to tell him that you're taking it away because you don't want to pay the bill? Seems rather counterproductive, because everything beyond this story means it'll cost us more money in the future. So it's even in the budget fiscal sense, it makes no sense. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. Point taken. Lots more to get to on 620 WTMJ.
Classic feeling. Your home is failing. Windows are old, roof looks horrible, siding is distressed. Even your front door fights you on everything. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. and I will be on the Fix It Show this Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. 1 hour where you get to call in and ask about your failing home and how the professionals at Siding Unlimited can help you. Can't wait until Saturday? Bring your pictures to our Siding Unlimited showroom and let's chat. Start your home updating journey with Siding Unlimited at sidingunlimited.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I love talking about them because I can't believe it myself. I lost 40 pounds since January, and I'm in the maintenance phase now, still working great. Feel better, stronger, more confident than I have in years. If you're frustrated with the trendy stuff, the shots, the meals bar shakes, all the gimmicky stuff, they helped me, Milwaukee Weight Loss, lose the weight without the crazy workouts, prepackaged meals, all that stuff. None of that. Just real results that last. It's doctor-developed and natural. I always stress that to people. And it's helped thousands of people, many who I've met at their facilities, lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in just a month or two. Stop the yo-yo stuff. Take control. There's great stories to be found at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Smarter, faster, safer ways to reach your goals. MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com or call. Schedule an appointment. It's free. Go talk to them. See what they can do for you. 262-393-2334. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And you know, I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads...
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Goodyear, Dunlop, Kelly, Continental, General, you name it, we got it.
Plus, free flat tire repair, free tire rotations, and more.
So when you're due for tire service, schedule it at richlawns.com.
That's Rich Lawns with 2 N's.
Rich Lawns.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Thanks again to Carl Schultz. He was
very game showy.
Yeah.
His bumping music.
Isaac mixes it up. He's a different producer than we typically have.
He's also a very good musician.
Very talented.
Aren't you one of the most popular bands in Milwaukee or something like that?
I guess they say that sometimes.
Oh, you got the
So humble.
You got the mention in the Journal Sentinel's year-end rewards, right? What was
Yes,
the, what was
we
the thing?
did.
Yeah, what was it?
Piet Levy, their music critic, said that our album was the best Milwaukee album of 2024.
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's not nothing. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of local artists out here, so good job. And the name of the band is?
Oh, Barely Civil.
Of course it is, yes. And interesting tie into our show because we try to be civil and with each other. Sometimes because we disagree.
We're civil with each other. We're civil in general.
With everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Civility.
I just, in talking to Carl, I think I'm also thinking a lot about the storm. So my piece for Journal Sentinel came out this morning as reaction to like, hey, maybe we're not the climate haven that people thought we were. If you follow data and you look at what happened this weekend. But it is overwhelming sometimes when you think about the amount of things that hopefully our taxes would pay for, like a social safety net for people who need health care. And so people don't go broke when they get sick or they have an accident like Carl did and become a quadriplegic. Updating our infrastructure. Like there's a lot of cost of things that are, I think, mounting right now. And yet the idea that we just got a huge tax bill and it's not fun paying taxes, but I don't know if we always are good at connecting the dots of what the cost is by constantly wanting lower taxes, and also not making sure that people who are very wealthy are paying a fair share.
I don't disagree with that. Everybody would love to have a low tax bill. Everyone would love their tax bill to stay the same.
How else are we going to pay for this stuff? And otherwise, it adds up. Like we said, the situation with Carl, if he has to end up going and living somewhere else, that's more expensive. If we don't pay for programming that like violence prevention and giving kids stuff to do, it's way more expensive to send them to prison and house them there. Like, there's all these things it's just health, your own personal health. By not paying attention to the prevention of getting sick, it's way more expensive when you actually get sick. And it's like thing after thing where we see this pattern of not wanting to pay the upfront costs and paying for it so much more later on.
It's the classic, as somebody who was a local leader, short-term wins, long-term pain, because you haven't thought about the impacts of your decisions now on the future. And when you're talking about healthcare, this is fundamentally challenging the structure of healthcare in America. We have to figure this stuff out. And you know where people's minds get changed? When Carl is part of your family, when you have to face this, how are you going to deal with this? And when you're looking for assistance or someone to come to your house to make your Carl life easier, how's that going to work? Who's paying for that? And at some point, unless you want to make everyone miserable, because frankly, there's already too many miserable people, you better start thinking about this stuff. Sometimes you have to pay. There are things that are essential to the health and safety of our individuals in this country, and we have to do these things. And this is a interesting one. Your homework. I'm giving you homework today. Think about this, because we're not getting off this topic for other shows. All this budget cutting talk, push for lower taxes. How can access and the rights of the disabled, those rights, be maintained? Think about it. Send me some ideas. You can email me at steve.scaffidi2s1d@wtmj.com. You can certainly always text us at 855-616-1620. Think about it, because those are real-life questions that people like Carl have to face every day. Your life may be fantastic and great, but there's challenges out there. How do we figure that out? Kristin, Steve, point taken. News is next.
There's a lot of noise coming out of Washington these days, but one thing retirees in Wisconsin can't afford to ignore is the new Big Beautiful Bill. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the truth. The changes buried in this bill could have a serious impact on your retirement. At Drake & Associates, we've dug into the details, and we want to make sure you know what's really at stake. The Big Beautiful Bill includes sweeping updates to tax brackets, Social Security thresholds, Medicare premiums, and retirement account rules. And for many retirees, it could mean higher taxes on your savings, more limits on deductions, and unexpected changes to your income plan. Maybe you're already retired, or maybe you're just a few years away. Either way, what you don't know could cost you thousands. That's why we're offering Wisconsin residents a free educational guide to help you understand how the new bill may impact retirees and questions to discuss with your trusted financial advisor. Just text the word tax to 414-897-9522. That's tax, T-A-X, to 414-897-9522. You'll get immediate access to expert insights from the team at Drake & Associates, retirement planners who have been serving Wisconsin for over 20 years. We focus on tax-efficient retirement planning, helping you keep more of your money, avoiding surprises, and staying ahead of the curve no matter what Congress throws your way. So before the Big Beautiful Bill takes a bite out of your hard-earned savings, let's make sure your plan is designed to help prepare for uncertainty. Text TAX to 414-897-9522. That's TAX to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping build retirement confidence right here in Wisconsin.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Hey, my friends over at Coulter's just told me they're doing something big. They're discounting their entire store by 10% Friday through Monday. John Mercure here. They only do this sale once a year. And as a Coulter's insider, and hey, that's you, you're hearing about it here first. It's called the Everything Under the Sun sale. That extra 10% comes off of their already marked down prices. Furniture, appliances, mattresses, even home decor, all with an extra 10% off. If you've had your eye on a new sectional, like one I just got at Coulter's, a better mattress, or maybe that appliance you've been putting off replacing, now now's the time, and honestly, who doesn't love stacking savings? I always say Colders knows how to take care of their customers. This is proof. Locally owned, family run, 4 locations across southeast Wisconsin, or you can even shop online at Colders.com. That's extra 10% off. Works online too. Use code EVERYTHING10 at checkout. Clock's ticking. Do it now. Don't miss out. Friday through Monday at Colders.
Step up to quality furniture. Get more for your money at Colders.
Think you've got more heat in your cannon? Well, last time told a different tale.
Swing and a miss. He gassed him up. He blew him away. 102 miles an hour.
It's the Brewers and Pirates in Milwaukee. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05 on the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11:02. I'm John Mercure. Flood warnings remain in effect for Waukesha County until Wednesday, Ozaukee County until Thursday. Today, a high of 82 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, tens of thousands are still without power this morning following the latest rounds of rains. Amy Johns with We Energy says high winds from the storms have knocked down large trees across Waukesha County.
With already that saturated ground, we knew that could possibly happen because the ground is so wet.
Thousands remain in the dark without power in Waukesha County, Milwaukee, and Jefferson counties. Storm recovery efforts continue across southeast Wisconsin after those historic rains.
Governor Tony Evers issued a state of emergency Monday while touring storm damage in Wauwatosa. Tosa Mayor Dennis McBride is asking people to stay away from the downtown area while recovery efforts are underway.
If you're thinking of going down there, please don't go down there. It won't help our public works people. It won't help our police and fire people.
Meanwhile, Milwaukee County is encouraging residents to call 211 to report any property damage.
We want to collect all the damage information with the help of the governor's office and present it to FEMA to see if we can get some emergency relief.
Neil Doyle, WTMJ News.
Strikes in Ukraine just days before President Trump's scheduled meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Here's ABC News Chief Global Affairs anchor Martha Raddatz.
The president seeming to downplay expectations.
I'm here for one reason, to get rid of a war that somebody else started.
And after months of positive interactions, President Trump also seeming to once again blame Zelensky for the war Russia started.
I get along with Zelensky, but, I disagree with what he's done. Very, very severely disagree. This is a war that should have never happened.
CBS Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett joins Wisconsin's Afternoon News today at 5:15 with perspective. And companies raising their prices in response to President Trump's tariffs appear to be driving up inflation. ABC's Jim Ryan has a look at the Consumer Price Index for July.
Compared to a year ago, inflation was up 2.7% last month, but strip out food and energy costs, and the increase was 3.1% year over year. One item pushing up core inflation is airfares, which surged 4% in July after several months in decline.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the big green roar today. The Dow up 479. The Nasdaq, up 211. Both of those are 1%. The S&P is up 55 points on the day. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather up next. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 11:05.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Craving something bold, crispy, and totally unexpected? Introducing Cheez-It Frozen Pizza. That's right, your favorite legendary snack cracker is now a pizza. Each ultra-thin, square-shaped crust is a giant original Cheez-It flavored cracker, super crispy and packed with that iconic Cheez-It taste. With mouth-watering flavors like Italian 4-cheese, Cheddar Jack Supreme, and classic pepperoni, it is the perfect combo of crunch and crave. And with bake time as short as 8 minutes, you'll go from freezing to cheesin' in no time. Find Cheez-It Frozen Pizza now at your grocer's freezer aisle.
I think one of the things that patients don't realize is that when they get a joint replacement, that's not a lifetime treatment option. And they're probably, if they are a younger patient, signing up for multiple surgeries down the road.
As a physician and medical director for QC Kinetics, Dr. Caravelli's seen a pattern of trending joint pain. Prolonged medication, steroids, then surgery, possibly another surgery.
So a lot of our patients are trying to avoid or put off surgery, and this is the treatment that can help them do that.
QC Kinetics extracts your body's healing substances, concentrates them back into your aching joints to help heal and restore those areas, providing lasting relief.
Oh, I love being able to tell my patients, before we do this surgery, let's try another option. Let's see if this is right for you, because now they might not have to have surgery at all.
Call today for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst says quarterback Jordan Love is having a procedure done on his left thumb to repair a ligament issue. Hurt that during the Jets preseason game. The expectation is Love will practice next week and will start the regular season. And the beat rolls on for the Brewers. The team goes for 11 straight tonight in Game 2 of a 3-game series against the Pirates. Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 6 o'clock news on WTMJ. Let's check those roads. Your WTMJ time saver traffic. A couple issues on some of the ramps in the area. Disabled vehicle on the ramp from Good Hope Road to I-43 South, slowing things down there. And a ramp issue 84th Street from I-94, the ramp there. So be aware, things are moving pretty slow in those couple of areas. The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Flood warning remains in effect for Waukesha County until tomorrow, for Ozaukee County until Thursday. Today, the good stretch begins. Sunny and warm today, a high of 82. Tonight, clear skies, 65 is your low. Wednesday, sunny, 80. Thursday, mostly sunny, 80. Friday, sunny, 84. Saturday, sunny skies. Continue to dry it out, a high of 86 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's cloudy and 74. In Madison, cloudy 73. In Milwaukee, a little bit of light rain and cloud cover, but it's beginning to clear out. It is 73 degrees. I'm John Mercure, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:08.
Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue. It's time for Point Taken. Here are your hosts, Steve Scaffidi and Kristin Brey.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour. And so, I think it's a fair statement to say I am more terminally online than you, Steve.
Yeah, I've actually reduced my exposure.
Which is great. You used to spend more time on Twitter. Mm-hmm. I feel like you are only on Instagram when I send you Instagrams.
I do look at things occasionally.
You scroll a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Not much. I think it's a waste of time to be perpetually scrolling.
It is.
Because it numbs your brain.
This is going to get off us on a tangent.
Yes.
But it is not a waste of time, because I do think I get a lot of show ideas from there.
It can be illuminating in some ways.
There is some stuff, but the amount of time I spend on there is also a problem, and it's built to be that way. But anyways, so I was aware of this almost immediately because my Instagram homepage or whatever was just flooded with people saying, hey, this is how you turn this off. You were unaware of this until I brought it to your attention.
Yes.
But Instagram last week introduced a variety of new features, one of which was maps, what they're calling maps. And it is a way to share your location in real time with a set of people. So you can do it with close friends, you can do it with all of your followers, you can do it with no one. But even though they said it, you had to opt into it, that was not the case. And so a lot of people I got messages. I got a message from someone who follows me. I was like, hey, just so you know, I could see your location.
Creepy.
Now, it turned out it wasn't my live location. It was at the state fair, and it was something I had posted and put the tag on, we're at the state fair. But no one asked for this. Literally, when I think of Instagram, I'm like, please show my stuff to more people. And that's what I want from Instagram. I don't want them to show where I actually am. And it's a huge, so like this is kind of from the standpoint of Find My Friends, which you can use if you have an Apple phone with your friends, you can share your location. And so like Mike and I use this, so I don't have to text him like, where are you? I can just look. If I know that he's on his way home, I can it's just an easier way to communicate with your spouse, with some of your loved ones.
You can see where they are.
You can see where they are. But you choose who you do that with versus on a platform like Instagram where there is a lot of people who can follow you without you following them back. So it's like I have 19,000 people that follow me on there. I don't know most of them personally, right? And so to have a situation where they can see my location when I'm a political commentator and a woman, not a great plan.
The potential risk of unintended consequences from somebody that you don't know who has an ability to see to pretty exquisite detail where you're at any given moment is not a good thing, and it's potentially dangerous.
I still have yet to see why they thought this was a good feature to roll out.
I'd love to hear the argument because I also did some research and I couldn't find that either. I mean, there must be some reason. Maybe they just want to see the geography of where people are at.
So there's a feature in Snapchat, I guess. I don't use Snapchat, but there's a feature in Snapchat which I guess has something similar to this. Obviously, there's the Find My app on your your iPhone, which is you can share your location with people. It also, what I will say, is very useful for AirTags, which I have on my keys and on my wallet because I am someone who loses things a lot. But even those can be really dangerous because like stalkers or ex-boyfriends and stuff can use those little AirTags, throw it in your car. You have no idea it's in there, and now they always know where you are. So it's like a good and bad as far as these geolocation technologies and how the safety concerns around them.
Not knowing what Instagram is thinking here, could it be that it's maybe content related? For example, you're at State Fair. Give Kristin a lot of State Fair content, videos, and people commenting on things that they're doing.
But the thing is, they already have that. So there's two ways to disable this, and it's more technical than if you just Google. If you're worried about this and you use Instagram, Google how to dismantle.
Take it down.
To take it down. But there's two things you can do. You can set the settings inside the app, but then you can also set the settings on your phone of your location being sent to Instagram.
Right.
And so you can change both. I have now dismantled it completely so that my location is not, Instagram's not looking at my location. I would imagine if it was doing that before, though, it could, if the app could already see your location, it could do that for you. But there's no reason to publicize that to your followers or to your friends without you knowing it. Like they can still, the technology is there that this is what happens with TikTok. This is why the TikTok algorithm is crazy it is when I was first posting stuff there, people in Wisconsin like seeing that without, just because of what their algorithm is. So it'll be interesting to see if they roll this back because it has had like a universal condemnation of people being like, we don't want this.
I think it's an interesting sort of look at technology and how we use it because, as you said, most people weren't aware of it, and then it just became this, much talked about conversation happening online. We actually shared this information with one of our teammates yesterday.
Yeah, that
she didn't know.
She didn't know.
And somebody who is around the city at different places, at different times, maybe in the evening, for someone who they don't know to have access to where that person is, to me seems imminently dangerous. There's really, I don't understand the reason why that would have to be a public thing. And you showed me this location sharing app, and it is weird. The fact that they can pin you down pretty close to where you're at. For example, before I shut mine down, they knew I was here at the Avenue. Now, Avenue is not just one place, so they still have to figure it out. But we're public figures, easy to find us, right? And chances are pretty good we're on the air or in our studio area. So I just worry that this is another example of where we're sharing our personal information or data, and it just sort of goes unchecked. And, you and I have talked a lot about TikTok and the concerns there, and who knows how that's going to shake out because, the president...
Still kicking.
President has extended that deadline over and over again.
Almost 9 months later, it's still there.
It's funny, when we pass laws now, they're not defined anymore. It's like, it's a law, but we'll just do it when we get to it. When did that become a thing with TikTok or anything else?
Supposedly there's on September 5th American TikTok launching, but I don't know if that's true or not.
And the other question, of course, related to that is the president keeps negotiating deals where the government gets money, which last time I checked, at least we're going to find out from Mary Kuhnmensch, who's going to join us on tomorrow's program, probably illegal and or unconstitutional. To benefit from these deals? I don't think so. So it's one of those things that puts me off with technology.
The way the government benefits is through taxes? Isn't like, shouldn't we, isn't that the whole point of like a company pays taxes?
Unless you're Donald J. Trump, who thinks government is a business, which he can manipulate like a business. You know, the whole idea of tariffs, again, probably not legal, but he keeps doing it, keeps talking about it. And I mentioned it in the last hour. He wants to negotiate Ukraine's borders without the leader of Ukraine in the room. In what sense, in what world does that make any sense? I said sense twice. It doesn't. It's stupid. Like,
I think
what are
it's
you
because
doing?
you wanted to say another word.
I did. Yeah.
I
did. Sometimes I edit myself while I'm talking.
I think you wanted to add an adjective in there.
Yeah, talking extemporaneously is hard enough, but then when you edit yourself while you're talking extemporaneously is even more difficult. So give me credit for that at least.
I do.
My goodness. All right, we got to take a break. After the break, the kids say the darndest things, including how they use their phones and how to get them off their phones.
This is good. This is a good development, in my opinion.
Interesting. We'll discuss after this on 620 WTMJ. Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ's Steve Scaffidi and Loyal Family Renovations. They saved the day after a brutal storm in Oak Creek. Hail damage, yeah, I had a lot of it. But Jeff, Jake, and the whole team, absolute pros, made the entire process smooth as can be. Let's be honest, not everyone knows how to deal with adjusters. They handle all the questions, quick answers, top-notch customer service in just 2 days. My roof was done. If storm damage hits, call the team that made it easy for me. Loyal Family Renovations. Visit loyalfamilyrenovations.com.
It's one of the hottest topics when it comes to finance and your money. The One Big Beautiful Bill. If you haven't read it, we don't blame you. It's 900 pages with 400 just for tax provisions. Not exactly light reading. You know who has read it? Annex Wealth Management. That's where Instant Insight webinars come in. They're designed to provide clarity for today's hot topics. Get up to speed fast. Check out the full Instant Insight schedule at annexwealth.com/events. Unbiased advice from a fee-only fiduciary. Find out more at annexwealth.com.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake, tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course, or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen, explore stunning shores and historic landmarks, and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
What song is this, Isaac?
No Phone by Cake.
Oh, it does sound like Cake.
See,
maybe I could have
he's
guessed
listening
that.
to the show. He knows what we're talking about. And
All
he's
right,
already
so are
following
you
the show
familiar with
plan.
Jonathan Haidt?
Yeah, author.
Author, speaker.
Yep.
One of my favorite books of all time is one of his books called The Righteous Mind.
You sent me the link yesterday.
And it's great. It's actually something I think I want to go back and reread. He then wrote or co-wrote The Coddling the American Mind, also a good book. That came out like 2016, 2017. And then the new development from him is The Anxious Generation, which is currently a bestseller, because he started specifically looking at the impact of what phones are doing to kids. Not only just phones, but also like helicopter parenting, and how there is a generation, now actually probably two generations between Gen X or Gen Z and the Alpha generation, of the amount of overprotection when it comes to their physical, what they can do, going out and playing, being on a bike by yourself, climbing a tree, like the dangers that parents are being so overprotective are so overprotective over?
Overprotective.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I don't know where the verb goes. Versus how unaware they are of what they're doing online. And so he's been on this brigade, so many podcasts. He wrote the book. And so and if you follow him on Instagram, he's constantly posting about this and how we fix this when it comes to kids' addictions to phones, kids' need for more independence and risky play and all these things. And so his newest piece for The Atlantic goes through, they talked to kids, they surveyed kids, and asked them like how to get them off their phones. And one of the things that they found, which maybe doesn't surprise anyone, but they had them rank how they would like to spend their time. And so the number one was free play in person. So unstructured play as far as just going out and getting in trouble. Not like trouble, but like kid trouble.
Yeah.
Just like not being with parents, being on bikes and just doing whatever. The next highest was organized activity in person, and the next highest was online activity. But the fact is, it comes back to there's this like idea with parents that goes back to the 80s when more cities were more dangerous, and the do you know where your kids are and all of that, of parents thinking that it's dangerous for their kids to go out and just play with each other. And instead, they're stuck at home finding that freedom online.
Being safe at home. Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, but not really.
This gives him my chance to tell a story, which I love telling. So when I was in this age group, 10 to 12, we would, all of us in the neighborhood, would sleep in a county park overnight in tents. Parents sent us on our way. Maybe they packed something in a little bag. We would sleep. We'd have a fire. This is what happened in
you were 10 or 11.
Yeah, 10 or 11. But 5 or 6 of us. In a county park overnight. That doesn't happen now, apparently. The thing that is just, this is another, I'm going to hurt parents' feelings here. There's a this is me talking to parents directly. There's a misconception by some parents, not all, that the only way your kid learns is from their parent. The only way their kid learns everything in life is being around them all the time. They, in my opinion, they smother them. I would argue some of the most important life lessons your kids will learn are when your parents stay the hell away from you and just let you learn,
figure it out
with your friends and on your own. And the sort of desire to move away from that sort of reality is impacting young children where they're camped out, using that same term, in their homes, in their bedrooms, online, getting involved in things that are very dangerous, unsupervised again, but obviously way more risky. And that's my lesson on parenting. It's not easy to tell your kids, go do something and give them the freedom to do that, obviously with some limits, right? You still need to know where they are. And there are ways you can do that. We just talked about some of that stuff.
The air tags. You know they make kids' shoes but with like a little hole in it, like a little like divot in it to put an air tag in?
Well, given some of the stories we talk about in the news, I mean, that's a good idea.
But that's his point. Is actually the stories in the news scare parents, but the actual likelihood of those bad things happening is inconsistent with how often we hear about them, right? And so the fear of letting your kids just go play independent is not based in reality. And that's what's causing some of these issues is the overprotectiveness that isn't warranted.
Yeah, it's parents being too much parenting. I've heard these people, I've seen them be involved in politics now where they will tell everyone, including educators, school boards, elected officials, how they want life to be. But often when you narrow it down to one person saying these things, it's like, I don't want you to have anything to do with how our life's going to be because you're messed up. It's a different weird version of life. I'm not against parents. It's a hard job, harder than it's ever been.
You're not against parents?
Yeah, but it's a hard job. I get that. But give your kids some space. My God, you're not the be-all and end-all. There are literally other people out there who will teach your kids more than you ever could. Why do I know that? Because we have educators. And most subjects, they will be a lot smarter on that than you are. Well, this goes back into a topic
that we've wanted to do is the increase of homeschooling.
Yes, we will get to that topic as well. Not against homeschooling, but...
And yeah, I know. And it's because I just... So much of the skill set that I think, at least I feel like I lean back on it that's made me successful, is learning how to deal with all sorts of people.
Socialization.
And I worry for the homeschool, like this increase in homeschooling, that you are missing out on some of the things you learn in school that aren't academic.
Yeah, there's so much more to this topic, and we will, like a lot of things, we're going to explore these in greater detail because that's the one thing that we do on the show. We dig into stuff, and I don't want to give a superficial, high level, just this is a problem. There are ways of looking at this that can fix these things.
So I know your daughters are around my age.
Yes.
Did they have like the Nokia brick phones in high school?
They had flip phones.
Okay.
Yeah, and they didn't get them when they were 10.
I mean, those were very different phones than the phones today.
Yeah,
but,
you could text. I think at the end of their high school years, they could text, if I remember right.
T9, baby. I was fast on that thing.
Yeah, so, there's some of that. All right, we got to get to break. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. Point taken on 620 WTMJ.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Welcome back to Ask Hassleus.
I believe in aliens, ghosts, and UFOs, but I don't believe Hassleus Mattress is employee-free.
It's true. Give our mattresses a try with no pushy sales guy.
Do these mattresses come from Area 51?
We're talking big names like Sealy Posturepedic and Beautyrest.
Who's supporting you? The Illuminati?
If you need support, through Monday, get a free adjustable base with any new mattress.
That's what the lizard people told you to say.
Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hassleus.com.
Ready for more fun? More friendships? More adventures?
Then it's time to become a Girl Scout.
Explore the outdoors, meet forever friends, and make a difference in your community. Sign up for our extended year membership today. Girls can join for $98 and adults for $42. Start in April and enjoy up to 5 extra months of fun. The extended year membership is April 1st, 2025 to September 30th, 2026, followed by a regular membership year. So what are you waiting for?
Join us and be a Girl Scout.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
Hey, Ripon, big news. Tyson's Home Farm Auto is opening this fall. We're proud to be joining your community and bringing nearly 100 years of Midwest know-how with us. We're bringing you trusted brands, friendly service, and everything you need for farm, home, outdoor, and family life, all under one roof. Check us out at Tysons.com. That's THEISENS.com.
Come on into Tyson's, more for you.
You know the voice.
Fly ball, right field, out of here!
You know the iconic calls.
Fly ball, deep right! Back to back!
And you know he's our Brewers 360 guest on Wisconsin's Morning News. Every Wednesday at 8:45. It's Brewers broadcaster Jeff Levering. Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
Oh,
we're on there.
You wanted to have a conversation?
Well, I forget. We came back too quickly.
All right, let's end this. Well, we have to go to news, but quick Brewers. We got to celebrate the Brewers. 10 in a row. Quick.
Nick Gonzalez, first pitch, swinging bunt, fielded by Miller, throws to first in time, and this ball game is over. A 1-2-3 ninth inning for Shelby Miller, and the Brewers win it 7-1. They have won their 10th game in a row, and they are 30 games above 500.
This stuff is nuts.
It's so fun.
And I am, as long as this keeps going, I'm going to play something.
Are you going to because we got some tickets coming up, and so for the game, are you going to go to any recently or coming up?
I'm booked solid every weekend between now and
What are you doing for Labor Day?
I'm going up north. Yeah, I didn't really want to, but I'm going because people asked me to go.
We just got tickets. We're going on Labor Day to the Brewers
I need
game.
to get out there because I haven't been there. I've been to 5 games, but I need to get out there soon. All right, what are we doing next half hour? I didn't even look.
What are we doing next?
It's probably
half
a very
hour?
interesting topic.
I'm
I
sure
know
it's
that.
Weed.
Oh, marijuana. Always a popular
Marijuana.
talk topic. All right, so we'll get to the weed question. President reclassifying. We got local news with the one, the only John McCure. Here's ABC, though.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A day after President Trump seized control of law enforcement in Washington, D.C., he says to help curb crime, hundreds of federalized troops are being deployed. ABC's Perry Russum has more.
800 National Guard troops are being deployed. We're being told by the Army that 100 to 200 troops are going to be working at any given time, essentially being just support teams for law enforcement. They're not going to be doing anything exactly law enforcement on the ground, but more of just a presence. And the Army tells us that there are 3 main tasks that they are going to be doing. One is administrative, other one's logistics, and then that physical presence as well.
Earlier today, D.C.'s Mayor and Attorney General Pam Bondi met for a closed-door meeting. Prices for consumers rose in July, up 0.2% from May. Year to year, the Consumer Price Index was up slightly less than what analysts projected. Severe heat once again targeting the South and East Coast, and another day of poor air quality in the Midwest as smoke from Canada wildfires drifts into the U.S. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 11:31. I'm John Mercure. Waukesha County declaring a state of emergency in response to ongoing flooding. The county is currently experiencing severe flooding after intense rainfall over the weekend. The lower Waukesha Fox River is of particular concern as the river has surpassed its flood stage. A 48-year-old Appleton man is dead after drowning in Lake Michigan. NBC 26 reporting the Milwaukee Police Department's Harbor Patrol found a man floating face down in the water while on active patrol just before 10:30 Sunday. A report from the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office indicates the cause of death to be accidental. The investigation is ongoing. And a story correction from WTMJ. We erroneously aired a story yesterday regarding a letter written by Pope Leo XIV in response to survivors of clergy abuse. The story said this was in response to survivors of clergy abuse in the Archdiocese of Milwaukee. That part was not correct, and we apologize for the error. Let's check out news about your money, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything big time in the green right now. The Dow is up 482 points. That's more than 1%. The NASDAQ up 237, also more than 1%. The S&P 500 up 59 points. That is just about 1%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's check out those roads. Pretty quiet out there. A few little bumps to tell you about, but nothing major. Disabled vehicle on the exit to 84th Street from I-94 West, so a little tap of the brakes there. And I-94 East just past Moreland Road, the right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Flood warnings extended until Friday morning for Waukesha and Ozaukee counties until further notice for Milwaukee County. Today, partly sunny and warm, a high of 82. Then a great stretch. Tonight, clear, low of 65. Wednesday, sunny, a high of 80. Thursday, the same. Sunny skies, a high of 80. Friday, mostly sunny, 84. Saturday, mostly sunny, a high of 86 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, cloudy skies and 75. In Madison, cloudy and 74. In Milwaukee, a little bit of cloud cover, and it's 72 degrees. I'm John Mercure, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 11:33.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
As the kiddos get ready to get back to school, you can find really great back-to-school savings at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. School supplies and some surprisingly cool clothing too. And teachers, you get an additional discount. Get the best back-to-school bargains at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
At Big Fish Contracting, we want every home project to be a good story worth sharing. That's why we as a team aim to exceed your expectations. We can improve any aspect of your home. Everything from a complex remodel to the essential roof, gutters, siding, and windows. Integrity, humility, and kindness are why we've grown in southeastern Wisconsin for the last 2 decades. Visit BigFishContracting.com to learn how Big Fish is renovating homes and redeeming an industry.
Hey, deal hunters, the shelves are loaded and our prices won't be beat at Fleet Farm. Get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic oil for just $21.99 after $5 rebate. Take 30% off all Eukanuba dog foods. And all Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2X spray paints are buy one, get one 50% off. From pets to paints to pickups, let Fleet Farm help take care of all your day-to-day needs. Always at the best prices, guaranteed. And check out all our weekly deals at fleetfarm.com.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker.
Pot. Grass. Dope. Reefer. Ganja. You got any other
Well, I see
nicknames?
the list. I was wondering why you had that on.
Yeah.
Mary Jane.
Chronic.
A blunt.
What did you call it?
Weed.
You just guys just plain old weed?
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't really.
Marijuana?
I think my mom and dad don't like when I talk about it, so I sort of ignore the topic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to talk about it today, though, aren't we?
Yeah, in a different sense, because the president is. This is something that actually the president can win on, in a lot of people's minds.
Yes, I would say. So it's not straight. He made an announcement.
President of the United States.
President of the United States in a press conference yesterday that his administration is looking into reclassifying marijuana from a Schedule I drug, which is the same level as heroin, cocaine, other heavy-duty drugs, let's say, to a Schedule III, which includes everything from hormones to drugs like Tylenol and codeine.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
But like what this would change is, I mean, I think we're all very familiar with the fact that we're surrounded by states that are now legalized recreational marijuana. There's lots of ways to get marijuana. But under its current classification, there's a bunch of obstacles for businesses, largely financial ones, as far as how they bank, what's tax deductible.
Business expenses, the fact that they can't use credit cards.
Traditional banks, et cetera, et cetera. And so this would change that. I don't know if it would ultimately change how much more often people, but what I don't understand is it doesn't necessarily, does it just legalize it if they reclassify it? Like as far as where we are in Wisconsin, a state that has not legalized even medical marijuana, if it's reclassified, because obviously you can get Tylenol here.
Well, here's a couple of things. One, states decide that for the most part. But two, if the federal government does this, it sort of changes the classification. It makes it easier for other states to say, because that's been the sort of the brick wall. Well, it's still a level 3 or whatever they call it, class 3. We can't do that. We will not change our laws because we want to sync with the federal government. So it would change that. Look, there's not and this is all anecdotal. I'm not going to go look it up. I don't think there's a state in this country that wouldn't support marijuana legalization. Do you think there is? I mean, Idaho, maybe. I don't know.
What do you mean by support it? I mean, there's definitely states that, like here, that
where
don't have it yet.
It would be legal to possess, even
like if that would abstain from where the federal would outlaw it if it was federally legal. Is that what you're saying?
No. If you asked people in any state in a simple poll, or you can even do
the majorities of each state.
I would say
I thought
I would be anywhere from 50% and up to, in some cases, 80% would say, yes, we should have legal marijuana, recreational and medicinal. Frankly, the medicinal thing is stupid. That should have been legal in every state a decade or two ago. That is the dumbest thing ever. And the fact that we still have people arguing in the state of Wisconsin against that, I don't understand what you're doing. You're certainly not paying attention to the voters because you're disregarding what they say. Because Wisconsin voters, they spoke pretty loudly and clearly on what they think about marijuana, in whether it's the polling that's done by folks like the Marquette Law School or questions on ballots. They've spoken out loud. They want this stuff to be legal. I can tell you anecdotally, a number of my friends who may have used marijuana in high school, like I did, and stepped away for it for many decades, and then are returning to it, but they're going to Illinois to get it or in other places. So that's the reality. We can spend an hour talking about what we think the impact of that is, whether it is sort of the old term gateway drug. It's probably not anymore, but that's been the argument for a lot of people.
Do you think it was it once and now is it?
No, I think people thought it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not in that classification. So to me, it never was. But people like to always assume the worst. And look, are there things about marijuana I don't like? Sure. When I'm walking the streets of Vegas, it stinks like weed.
That's why you had gummies now. Very popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
No
So
stench.
that's how some people have reconciled that. But I don't like the smell of it. And I go in a casino and the person next to me playing blackjack reeks of weed. I would go move. I don't want to smell weed while I'm playing blackjack because I'm focused.
What if he needed a shower? What's worse, someone who smells of weed
They're
or someone
both
who's
bad.
What's worse?
Where was I at recently? It was in Vegas, and
You got a super hot streak going, and someone sat down next to you. So you're not going to walk away from the table. Would you rather them reek of weed or
I would
reek
ask the
of
pit
BO?
boss to get me a nose clamp because I want to finish this hot streak that I'm on. Yes, that's what I would do. Look, should this happen? Yes. It should be reclassified.
This would also be a huge win for him. Like, I think the amount of people who, if this were to happen, what would also be interesting if this gets reclassified, what happens to the people who are in prison for minor
Many of them have been pardoned
charges
by either governors and or presidents. Some of the serious ones. Governors have pardoned a lot of these folks. I mean, come on. You talk all the time. We haven't spent a lot of time on, but prison capacity. If you're sitting there for a weed violation, we're not utilizing our resources very well. That's one point. Look, I get all of it. Look, some people don't like it, and they have this hard stance. No, I will not accept it. But like everything else, when 3/4 of the population thinks something should be changed or done, it's probably going to happen at some point. What are we waiting for? And we are, all those tax people that spend all their time complaining about taxes, we're handing money to Illinois by the truckload every day, because all those parking lots.
Or Minnesota. Or the UP.
Yeah. I've visually verified this on a trip to Illinois. You drive by that place, all those plates, Wisconsin residents. Wisconsin plates. Does that tell you something?
It's like when kids from Illinois would come up here because the drinking age was still 18.
Yeah. We should do that topic, because I'm actually...
How old were you when they changed the drinking age?
18, yeah.
So right when you turned 18, they turned it to 20, changed it to 21?
No. I had my whole college life, I was 18.
Okay.
Yeah.
What year did they change that?
You're asking me a question I don't know the answer
All right, we'll
to.
look it up.
Well after my...
So you got to... But it wasn't liquor, right? It was just beer?
It was everything.
It was everything.
Yeah. At my time. Then they did some things. They phased it. There was a 19 for a while, and then it was... And some states have had... I think some states still have that. The beer and alcohol thing is different. It's like, really? Catch up. It's 20...
I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Oh, so the licensing is how that works. Yeah. So some places can only have...
Oh,
beer.
that
Yeah.
like restaurants.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. I worked the bar I worked at in college
Yeah.
was just beer. And we had like soju or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what we would make Bloody Marys with because we couldn't actually have vodka.
Yeah, but it's codified by regulations, and then they put it into licensing requirements. And I don't know if a lot of people know. I don't know if it's still the case. Somebody from Minnesota who's listening used to not be able to buy beer from a gas station or a quick trip type place on Sundays.
Yeah, so I've heard that story too, as far as people coming over
What
here.
world are you living in?
That was how it was in D.C.
I
There's
think-
more states than you'd think that
That's
actually
stupid.
still apply that if you can't buy booze on Sundays.
So we're in agreement on this one. The president should reclassify. And this,
Yes.
let's be honest, this is a win for the president if he does it.
I agree.
Yeah. Look at you, a left-leaner going all in on Trump support.
I'm not just like a...
Am I knocking on this table too
Yes,
much?
you are.
I am.
But never mind. Just go to
All right, we're going to go to break. I got a never mind from you. I'm gonna put that in our show promo. Kristin, Steve, point taken.
The dance of sunlight on water.
Shimmering, sparkling, beautiful, hypnotic.
Houses that overlook a gorgeous body of water are the most highly desired houses in the world.
The Bellamare collection of fine jewelry features classic white diamonds, flanked and surrounded by rare and exotic blue diamonds.
Bellamare means beautiful water.
Bellamare, sunlight on water, glimmering and twinkling.
The dance is enticing.
The look is spectacular.
The impact is exciting.
Blue and white diamonds created in the heart of Mother Nature.
Will dance and sing on the body of a glittering, sparkling woman.
Bellamare, this blue and white beauty of sunlight on water,
Should be worn on the fingers
the wrist,
the neck and the ears
of the woman you love.
The Bellamare collection is available only at Kessler's.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
I'm the guy that never gives 5 stars because I never believe that anything is perfect. But I would give them 20 stars if I could.
Ernest's stellar review belongs to QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments. They came through when he badly needed relief for his aching knees, and doctors had told him that surgery was the only option.
What they're doing is cutting edge, and it really helps. And I'm a tough sell.
QC Kinetics is led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, a pioneer in this field. With 20 years of clinical work, tons of research, teaching, publishing in non-surgical natural pain treatments. These are the medical pros to trust.
I'm living my life basically pain-free from what I was dealing with. So I'm a happy camper today, no doubt about it.
QC Kinetics. Call today to see if you're a candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
111 East Kilbourne, Milwaukee. CordellCordell.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, reminding you to double-check your home. Siding Unlimited is the proven exteriors professionals for 31 years. Family-owned and locally operated right here in Wisconsin. Call Siding Unlimited and visit sidingunlimited.com.
Devil's lettuce.
Yeah, I just saw that one. I never heard that one. Talking about
I've heard that one before.
President's efforts to declassify marijuana. I say yes. Kristin says yes. Here's our question, and I just want to text because we're gonna go to break again because we have a special Brewers thing after the break. A great piece from Jeff Levering and our friend Jason Wilde, teammate here at GKB. Simple question: yes or no? Will Wisconsin ever have legal marijuana, recreational, medicinal? They'll get that done.
Do you mean will we ever have it before it's legal federally?
No, I just mean will we ever have it? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
When you put the time limit, are you going to say like by 2030?
In the next 10 years.
Yes.
All right. Let's say by 2030. That's even easier. 5 years.
This is actually a great story. You know the story Doug Moe, the writer Doug Moe from Madison?
Yeah.
So he bet my dad once. He's like, my dad is like, I bet someday it's at some point you're going to join the Madison Club in Madison down by the Capitol. And Doug, they bet like a 6-pack of beer or something like that. And the story is basically they never put a time limit. So basically, unless he dies and then he can't actually reclaim his 6-pack.
You never pay. Yeah.
Yes. So, yes, eventually I think weed is going to be legal in Wisconsin. I also think it's going to be legal in Wisconsin in the next 10 years.
I recharacterize my question. By 2030, will we have recreational marijuana in the state? Yes or no on the text line 855-616-1620. And we'll give you the results at the end of the hour. I think recreational, no.
What if the Democrats actually pull off a trifecta?
No, then maybe, I guess, but that's a big if.
It's a big if.
Especially if
it's more likely now than it's been in the last 15-ish years.
Because with that question comes a question, will other states, Republicans, if they have control of the legislature, do what's happening in Texas? Or at least try to? What's stopping them? Redistricting. I mean, what's stopping any state from just...
I feel like the only states where it's states like ours where there's divided government, right? Like that are probably not soon to be added to this arms race of redistricting. But besides that, I don't know. I mean, I hate that story so much.
I know, but
I know it's reality. I'm going to have to keep talking about it. But
there's a lot of great commentary on both sides of this question. Are
you talking about redistricting or are you talking about weed?
Redistricting.
Okay.
Yeah.
We really made a right turn there.
I feel like we're losing it at the end of the show. Are you smoking weed during the break?
I'm not. I'm not.
You could have popped a gummy. I'm not watching every movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
What if I started microdosing shrooms before the show?
That would be bad. Yeah. I need your focus at all times.
It's supposed to help with focus, especially for people like me who has ADHD.
Absolutely. So the reason we're having fun is because we're going to do something fun. And I'm not ignoring, even though we're not a sports show, I'm not ignoring what the Brewers are doing. I saw this interview yesterday and listened to it. Jason Wilde and Brewers announcer Jeff Levering. You can hear him on our airwaves. Fantastic. We got 2 minutes of it. We're going to play it after the break. It's a great tie-in to Bob Uecker, which is one of the reasons I was intrigued by it. We'll play that after the break. She's Kristin, I'm Steve. Point taken on 620 WTMJ. We're not high.
Lake Geneva. It's where families have been making memories around the water for generations. Lakeside resorts and spas, award-winning restaurants, and charming shops are just the beginning of an unforgettable summer getaway. Lake cruises, boating, and beach lounging let you soak up the sun, water, and family time. Hike a lakeshore path, stargaze from an iconic observatory, or soar above it all in a hot air balloon. Go ziplining, visit an animal safari, or see dancing horses. Start making your memories today at visitlakegeneva.com.
Hey, it's WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Advent. I love talking about Advent because it changed my life, and it can change yours. So many people, as I do different things around the town and in my neighborhood, people talk to me about some of this stuff that I talk about on the show. And one of those things is restlessness and snoring. And, we've heard all about CPAPs and all that stuff. If you're having poor sleep and you're not waking up rested and refreshed, here's a simple to-do. Put it on your to-do list like you're going grocery shopping, but go to Advent for a quick 30-minute visit. Find out what they can do for you. Just ask the question. Tell them what's bothering you. They'll go through all this stuff. They'll work through it all. You'll be at ease. They'll ask you, maybe you want to try a simple sleep study at home. Easy, in your own bed. They'll figure out your problem. They'll assess it for you. And for me and many other people, it was sinuses and nasal passage in my breathing triangle. Once they fix that for me in a very simple procedure, I sleep through the whole night. I wake up rested and refreshed. That's why I'm always in such a good mood. Wink, wink, nod, nod. If you struggle like I used to, take the time to see how Advent can help you. To find out breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to adventknows.com and schedule an appointment today because they know Advent does. When you breathe well, you live better.
Hey, moms, dads, grandparents, is summer getting a little long? Kids getting bored? WTMJ's John Mercure here. How about this? Treat them to the Mine Shaft Restaurant and Entertainment Center in Hartford, the area's most affordable staycation destination. The Mine Shaft has a gigantic game room with over 70 games, including the easiest games for the little ones. And Sunday through Thursday, kids 5 and under eat free from the kids menu. That's right, free. Get a huge 18-inch pizza, a pitcher of soda or beer, and 100 game room credits for just $44.99. The pizza easily feeds a family of 4. Coaches, bring in your soccer, baseball, and basketball team. It's super affordable team bonding. Your teenagers will really love the Mine Shaft. Take your kids to the Mine Shaft in downtown Hartford and in Oshkosh for hours of cool and comfortable fun. Kids menu starts at $3.99. Big food, big fun. The game room opens at 12 noon today. Just walk in, mineshaftRestaurant.com.
When you've been injured, you need a winning team on your side. Gruber Law Offices will fight for the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today, a proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Good luck raising your Jolly Roger here, because you mateys will be shivering your timbers after facing us. It's the Brewers and the Pirates in Milwaukee.
Drilled into deep left center field. This is flying back towards the wall. It is up. It is gone. Babe Vaughn has struck.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. 620 WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
'Cause if there's more to life than baseball, I don't want to live.
Man, this has been the most eclectic mix of music I've ever had on any show that I've been associated. So good job, Isaac, producing it in place of Jazz, who'll be back tomorrow. She's taking some.
She's listening.
Yeah.
Hi, Jazz.
She's texting. I saw this interview yesterday. I said, we got to play some of this. It's our own Jason Wilde, 94.5, and Jeff Levering, one of the voices of the Milwaukee Brewers. Great conversation about the sort of all the
What's happening.
How
with magical this is.
and how it ties back to our favorite brewer, Bob Uecker.
How do you view the whatever this is? Touched by an angel, touched by a plaid sport coat, whatever you want to call it. How do you view this cosmic aspect of what this team is doing?
I would be remiss if I said you didn't feel it, right? You feel it. And especially since, this last weekend I was on the radio call and we're surrounded by Bob in that radio booth, right? And it was in yesterday's ball game, Collins hits the homer and I have the call and I'm kind of like, you can hear it in the call, I'm kind of laughing, right? It's just like, come on. Yeah. This doesn't happen. I even said it. Who's writing this script? And I know a lot of people tweeted at me and have emailed, and they said, well, Bob's writing this script. And I went, it's incredible. And I looked over to my right, where Bob would have been sitting, and I thought about how he would have called it. I thought about him saying, how about that one, folks? Because that's what he would have said. And then Lane's sitting in the seat where Bob's sitting, and there's a picture of Bob right behind Lane. And Lane was getting teary-eyed as I was finishing the call and going to break. And he just pointed at him and he went, that freaking guy. And I went, I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. And it's something to be said, the fact that he was laid to rest where he can watch every single home game at American Family Field. You feel him in your heart every day. I mean, I'm in my office right now, and he's right above me, right? He's there. He's everywhere. And I think he's in everybody's hearts. And whether they're playing for him or not, or whether he's tugging on some heartstrings or not, some people said, he had to go for the team to actually win one. We've got a long ways to go to get to that point. But I think that there's definitely a little piece of Bob that is narrating this whole thing.
That's brilliant. Well said by Jeff. And Jason always is so good at what he does. And it expresses the feeling. And if you don't know, yes, Bob Blucher's gravesite overlooks the stadium, and that's just another cool thing about this. Whatever happens. This team has been fun to watch, and I hope it means postseason success. But we are being treated to some really good baseball and some just really great storytelling, and there's two guys that are really good at it. So thanks. On our pod question, it's about 2-1. Yes, we will see it by 2030. Recreational marijuana. So thanks to all people who weighed in. Great show tomorrow. Mary Kuhnmensch will join us. Lots of legal questions as always.
Lots of legal questions, and so very excited always to have Mary on when she can join us, and then we'll have an Ask Us Anything, which we skipped last week.
We did, because we had so much fun at the fair. I always look forward to coming onto the show and meeting all of you listeners through the text line and every way that possible, podcast, whatever. So thanks for being there for us. Thanks for all the great questions and comments. We'll do it again tomorrow at 10. News is next on 620 WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender.